Hi, and welcome to your queer literary fiction summer guide. In fact, do not need these glasses because I'm sitting in the shade, but maybe we can put them here for the vibes. Now, I have prepared, and I hope you're prepared too, because the summer months are awaiting us slowly but surely, and I thought I'd make this video earlier than later so you get enough time to prepare for the actual summer. I don't know about you, but the second that it turns a little bit over, like, let's just say 22 degrees, I am ready to read queer literary fiction books, and I'm a big fan of those. And I have compiled a list of 6 books. 3 of those will be gay books, and the other 3 are sapphic books. And truly, this is as much as a list for you as it is for me. I'm not saying that I haven't read these books, because I have, but I do really wish for recommendations to have more diverse queer reading and to have more queer reading. And I could probably, like I said, I have 6 books for this video, but I think I could possibly make another video or even 2 more videos, just because I love this specific genre, which is queer literary fiction, especially the ones set in summer, so much. Now, to get the most obvious one out of the way, and I shall mention it in this video as part of my list, because like I said, I will make more parts if you want them, and because I think if we think of queer literary fiction, and especially summer queer literary fiction, this is the book that comes to everyone's mind. So it doesn't need any introduction, but I shall give it anyway, just in case you still haven't read it, which is The Godfather, Call Me By Your Name by Andrei Esselman. And to no one's surprise, like I just said, this is on the list. For many reasons, it deserves to be on this list, because I think it really paved the way for this subgenre. I think if you're into this subgenre, you are aware of most of these books. And if you're not, I am happy to introduce you to them. And if you are, maybe we can discuss them, because I think it's really hard to find new books in this genre, because the ones that are famous are the ones being pushed the most, and especially in Germany, it's really hard to find unknown books. I'll tell you what Call Me By Your Name is about. During a restless summer, a powerful romance blooms between 17-year-old Elio and his father's houseguest, Oliver. Unrelenting currents of obsession and fear, fascination and desire threaten to overwhelm the lovers, who at first feign indifference to the charge between them. What grows from depths of their souls is a romance of scarcely 6 weeks' duration, an experience that marks them for a lifetime. For what the two discover during a sultry evening in Rome is the one thing they both already fear they may never truly find again: total intimacy. A little something close to romance blossoms between Elio and Oliver. However, if you say this book is a romance book, I will slap you with the book, because it is not a romance. It's more so a coming-of-age story from Elio's perspective, and the way that he does fall in love with this guy, but he's also semi-being groomed by this guy. And it's not a romance, and then it's this beautiful, beautiful character study of a young boy who is experiencing his first version of love and heartbreak, and the sweating that Italian summer can hold. It is set in this beautiful place, and if you need a reason to read this book, if you haven't yet, you get this very in-depth dive on Elio's inner monologue and the way he thinks and the way he feels, and it's very intense and emotional, but very, very much, or at least I thought so, relatable. Maybe I can find you a line. I look back to that summer and can't believe that despite every one of my efforts to live with the fire and the swoon, life still granted wonderful moments. Italy, summer, noise of the cicadas in the early afternoon, my room, his room, our balcony that shut the whole world out, the soft wind trailing exhalations from our garden up to the stairs to my bedroom. The summer I learned to love fishing because he did, to love jogging because he did, to love Octopus, Heracticus, Tristan. The summer I'd hear a bird sing, smell a plant, or feel the mist rise from under my feet on warm sunny days, and, because my senses were always on alert, would automatically find them rushing to him. Just call him by name. And it's truly overhated and deservedly loved, but it's not a romance. We should stick with the gay book first, so we don't get confused up in here. And the next one is also very well known. Well, I always struggle with recommending books because in my head they're very well known books, but if you're not part of this genre, you might not know them, but I think you do know these two, which is Call By Name and In Memoriam by Alice Wynne. And this is a wonderful Second World War. Is it the Second World War? No. This is a wonderful story depicting what it was like to be gay during the First World War. Let me read you the synopsis. At 17, they're too young to enlist, and anyway, Gaunt is busy fighting his own private battle, an all-consuming infatuation with his best friend, the dreamy, poetic Elwood. Not having a clue that Elwood is in love with him and always has been. When Gaunt's German mother asks him to enlist into the British Army to protect the family from anti-German attacks, Gaunt signs up immediately, relieved to escape his overwhelming feelings for Elwood. The front is horrific, of course, and though Gaunt tries to dissuade Elwood from following him to the battlefield, Elwood soon rushes to join him. Once in the trenches, Elwood and Gaunt find fleeting moments of solace in each other, but their friends are all dying in front of them, and at any moment they could be next. An epic tale of both devastating tragedies of war and a forbidden romance that blooms in its grip. In Memoriam is a breathtaking debut. And the fact alone that this is a debut is absolutely crazy to me. And I cried my eyes out reading In Memoriam, and I think the one thing these books all have in common with each other, in some cases are romance, but I think the term I would use most, these are just very sad summer books. This is life from In Memoriam. Gaunt was woven into everything he read, saw, wrote, did, dreamt. Every poem had been written about him, every song composed for him, and Elwood could not scrape his mind clean of him, no matter how he tried. I dog-eared many pages in this book. And the last book I have on the gay list for this video, like I said, I have many more that I wish I could show you, maybe in the next one if you want to, and this might just be my overall favorite on this list, is Lie With Me by Philippe Besson. And it's a very short book, so it's a very quick read, and it's a wonderful read. It's very emotional, and it's very poetic, and full of love and desire, and full of sadness of being gay in a time where being gay wasn't an okay thing, and of missing your chance. Let me read you the synopsis. Just outside a hotel in Bordeaux, Philippe, a young famous writer, chances upon a young man who bears a striking resemblance to his first love. What follows is a look back to Philippe's teenage years, to winter morning in 1984, a small French high school, and a carefully timed encounter between two 17-year-olds. It's the start of a secret, intensely passionate, and world-altering love affair between Philippe and his classmate Thomas. Dazzlingly rendered by Molly Ringwald, the acclaimed actor and writer in her first-ever translation, Besson's exquisitely moving coming-of-age story captures the tenderness of first love and the heartbreaking passage of time. That is Lie With Me. And also, let's read a line, if I can find you one. Like I said, this is one of my favorites. He says I'm a boy of books from somewhere else. This is important. He sees me in a certain way, where he will never deviate from. In the end, love was only possible because he saw me not as who I was, but as the person I would become. The rain continues to pound against the roof of the shed. We are alone in the world. I've never enjoyed the rain so much. And like I said, this is a tiny book. It's 150 pages, and look how many pages I cornered because I enjoyed them so much. This is Lie With Me, and it's definitely my favorite gay literary fiction book out there. Now we're getting to the ladies, to the queer ladies, and these are all as equally heartbreaking and the first one I shall talk about has a beautiful cover, and it's briefly A Delicious Life by Nell Stevens. And I read this last summer, and it's a beautiful, haunting, I think, story set in the 1800s, and it's sapphic, like I said, and it's kind of about ghosts, but also kind of not really, and it's just really heart-rendering, and it's a wonderful tale, and I really like this. Blanca has been dead for centuries when she falls in love with celebrated novelist George Sand. George is unlike anyone Blanca has encountered in hundreds of years of haunting. A woman dressed in men's clothes, a ferocious writer and passionate lover of men and women alike. It is 1838, and George has come to the island of Majorca with her ailing lover, Frederic Chopin. As the weather and the locals turn against the strange couple, can the love of a teenage ghost keep them from disaster? And this is very much about obsession and full encompassing obsession at that stage, and it's a wonderful story. It's not necessarily one of my favorites, but I really enjoyed it, and I can actually read you also a line from this. It's the second page, which is great because it isn't a spoiler. I just really liked the phrasing of this. 300 years earlier, I'd seen Brother Thomas and with Brother Matteo in that very same garden, beard crushing against beard, and the clatter of rosary beads hitting the paving stones. That is briefly A Delicious Life. Definitely recommend if you want yearning from a ghost. The next book I read last summer vacation, and it's We Do What We Do in the Dark by Michelle Hart. And this was a really tough read, and in the sense that it was very intense, but I really liked it. I sadly didn't underline anything because I was at the ocean and I didn't have a pen with me. At the ocean, at the beach. It's also very water damaged. So maybe I'll read you the first line of the book, but let me tell you what the book is about first. Mallory sees the woman for the first time at her college gym and is immediately transfixed. Naturally reserved and reeling from the loss of her mother, Mallory finds herself compelled by the woman's assurance and sophistication and longs to know her better. Despite the discovery that she is a professor at the college, she quickly falls into a complicated, all-consuming love affair with the woman, retreating from the rest of the world. In the years that follow, Mallory must come to terms with how the relationship shaped her, for better or worse, and learn to take back the life that she sacrificed for the sake of a woman she never truly knew. Also, common theme with all of these books is age gap relationships, and not for all of them, but it's a common theme, I think, in queer literature that there are a lot of age gap relationships as depicted in novels. So I do not want to say for any of them that these are truly romance books, except for maybe Lie With Me and In Memoriam, and the next book I'll show you. These are very interesting and complex relationships to read about. And let's see what the first line is, and maybe I'll read you the first line. Yeah. I think this tells you a lot about what the book is about, so I'll read you what it says. When Mallory was in college, she had an affair with a woman twice her age. When the woman was 17, she herself had an affair with a man in his 40s. Mallory admired the woman so much that for many years any similarity between them flattered her. That's what we do what we do in the dark. And now we've come to the last book, which is the most recent book I've read, which wasn't necessarily summer yet, because it's not summer yet, but it was a very summery day, and it's Jeanette Winterson's Written on a Body. And Jeanette Winterson is an absolute icon that you, I hope, have heard about. This one was very heartbreaking as well, and I shall read you a line because I've underlined so many lines in this, and I hope I find one. But first, let me tell you what it is about. In a quiet English suburb, a love affair ignites. For our nameless narrator, Louise is the last in a long line of explosive passions, but the first to have broken their heart. With Louise's husband, Elgin, blocking love's course, the affair is doomed to unravel until, that is, a terrible choice must be made. With its witty and masterful prose written on the body, takes the reader on a beguiling and defying exploration of love and its physical forms. That is written on the body, and those are all the books, but let me... Oh, I just randomly picked a page, and it's a perfect quote to read you. I came to you for a crown, and you offered me a kingdom. Unfortunately, I could only take possession between 5 and 7 weekdays and the odd weekend when he was away playing football. That's a great book. This is a very short video, but I wanted to keep it concise and not overwhelming with too many books, because I know that is a thing. I get overwhelmed with too long of videos with book recommendations. I really do want more recommendations if you have any for me, and please let me know if you want to get another video with recommendations, because I have enough to give you. Many and plenty in my bookshelf and in my head. And those are the books. I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one, and I hope we all get a slice of a summer in northern Italy this year. Goodbye.